Hey guys, Matt with BleepinJeep, everything off-road, none of the boring stuff. Today we're going to show you 6 different ways to bleed your brakes by yourself if you've got no friends. Let's get started. I'm sure you guys have all bled brakes before, but if not, typically how this works is you have to have a buddy sitting in the driver's seat. He's going to pump those brakes and you're going to go around to the calipers and open up the bleeders one by one, starting at the furthest away from the master cylinder. Typically that's right rear, right front, left front. You're going to do that multiple times and get the air out of the system. The problem is that you have to have a buddy to do it. Next up, we're going to show you how to do it by yourself. If you don't have that buddy, it does become very complicated. So let's take a look at some things to make your life easier if you're doing this by yourself. But first, why would you want to bleed your brake system? And there's really 2, maybe 3 things. So number 1, if you've opened the brake system somewhere, let's say you put a new caliper, a new brake line on, you're going to need to bleed the brake system because you introduced air into the system. Another reason, if you've got really old, nasty brake fluid, you might want to flush all that brake fluid out, get it nice, clean, and clear again. And number 3, if you just have spongy brakes, in which case air probably got into the system somehow, and you want to try to get rid of that sponginess, go ahead and bleed your brakes. The simplest method is this. It's a little one-way valve you can get on Amazon or anywhere really. And the trick with bleeding your brakes is not letting any air back into the system. So with this, you're going to put this over the line, and that one-way valve is going to allow you to push the fluid out and not suck back in. Now you need to be careful though that you just barely crack this, because if you crack it too much, air is going to get back through that bleeder. This method is super simple, but the issue with it is that you can't see what you're doing. Typically you want to look and see when the bubbles stop coming out, and you can't do that from in the cab unless you're in the right spot. One thing you need to watch out for, and an issue that we just had, is that we're sucking air in between the threads and back into the system. A way that you can defeat that is by wrapping a little bit of Teflon tape around the bleeder here, and that'll keep air from sucking back in around the threads. I think a lot of people, when they're having issues with their brakes and not being able to bleed the air out of them, this is probably what's happening to them. So put a little Teflon tape in there if you need to, because as you can see, when you loosen this up, it's really wobbly in there, and it was sucking air back through. Now the second option right here is pretty ingenious. It's going to act like your best friend's amputated leg without having to invite him over. It's also the most expensive of all of our options today, but it's pretty cool. Let's check it out. There's 2 inputs on this one. The first one goes into your 12-volt cigarette lighter, and the second one goes to your compressed air system. It also comes with a remote. Hit it. Check that out. Oh, snap. Have you guys figured out what that thing does? All right, so there's a little hook right here. It's going to go onto your steering wheel. It has a little latching mechanism right there. And then this side goes to your brake pedal. It's got a piece of Velcro. And then there's a little clip right here where you can adjust the length if you need a little bit of extra length. Hit it. So this is like having a buddy, but he doesn't talk back to you. And your buddy comes with a remote. All you have to do is press that button, go underneath, bleed your brakes, and every time you press that button, you can depress and release the brake pedal on your own. Now all these items, I'm going to leave links to them somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where, but somewhere there will be links to them if you'd like to check them out. None of them are sponsored, so don't feel obliged to buy any of them. Also, trivia question while you're down there checking that out. What brake fluid is not corrosive? Let me know in that big old ugly box. Here's another one-man operation. This is called the Mighty Vac, and it's going to set you back anywhere from $25 to $100 depending on where you buy this thing. But it's just a vacuum pump, a little handheld vacuum pump. It's going to suck the fluid down into here and vacuum it out of the bleeder. Let's see how it works. You're going to put the end of this over the bleeder. Make sure that your reservoir cap is off and that you've got plenty of fluid in the reservoir. We're going to crack open the line, and then we're going to sit here and pump and that's going to suck fluid down from the reservoir through the caliper. Your hand may get tired after a while, but it's going to start pulling fluid down into this little reservoir here, and you can see the bubbles traveling through. And that's one thing that you always want to look at when you're bleeding brakes is the bubbles, and try to get all the bubbles out of the system. But anyway, that's one more technique for you, is this little mighty vac. If you're tired of hand cramps and carpal tunnel, here is your next option. You can get this for about $23 on Amazon. It's also a vacuum pump, but in this case we're going to use compressed air. So you're going to need an air compressor as well that hooks up here. You flip this switch and all of a sudden it starts vacuuming right through that caliper. Let's check it out. This one works the same as any other bleeder. We're going to put this guy on the bleeder screw here, and then we're going to add our compressed air into this side. Make sure your valve is off. And then what we're going to do is hang that up, and we're going to open this guy. And let's add some air, compressed air. We had a little issue there. This guy was leaking at first, so just went directly with the hose to the bleeder to try to get rid of the leak, because this thing was leaking bubbles and it seemed like there was air in the system, but in reality there was just a leak in this little black piece here sucking bubbles from the air. So now that we've got that hose directly to there, you can look right here and you'll see the fluid flow through and no bubbles. You can keep this on. I'm turning it off because it's hard to talk over it, but you can keep the vacuum pulled while you shut this off. And then turn the vacuum off. One thing I should note on the vacuum bleeding is if it's not working in the rear, you might have some sort of an ABS that doesn't allow vacuum bleeding or gravity bleeding on the rear of your vehicle. Also, newer cars, they're coming up with all kinds of weird stuff. Sometimes you have to have computers now to bleed your brakes. So this isn't necessarily an all-around how-to. Just on older cars, what we're used to, these are methods to do that. But check your service manual and read up on it. This next one that I want to show you is a reverse bleeder. And this works by pushing the fluid up from the caliper instead of from the reservoir down. You're going the opposite direction. But there's a caveat there. You only want to use it in two circumstances. Either you're working on a brand new build, you've never had any fluid in this system at all and everything is brand new, or you've already flushed the system top down and got all the junk out of there. What you don't want to do is put this onto an old system that has a lot of gunk and debris in the caliper and shove that back up through the system, through your ABS, and through all of the other pieces and parts that it might go through. Let's check this one out. Before we start, we need to remove some fluid from the reservoir. The last thing you want to do is push it up from the bottom and have it spill all over the place. So this is a kit we rented from Advanced. You can buy it for $100 if you'd like, but it basically works the same way as the vacuum system, except this time we're going to be pushing fluid instead of pulling it. So we're going to fill this reservoir right here with clear, clean fluid, and then put this on the bleeder just like we did before, and then push that fluid up and out the other end. This pump has a pressure or a vacuum, depending on how you slide this piece. And we're just going to open this a little bit, and then we're going to start pushing fluid up through there. Of course, now we just introduced air into the system, so we need to continue pushing that until the air comes out the other side. We're back to hand cramps again. Hand cramps and arthritis. All right, if you're going to try this method, we're getting it figured out, but I feel like this reservoir needs to be bigger because it's really hard to keep air out of the system, because as soon as this dips down to nothing, you have to fill it up again, but that introduces more air into the system. It can be done, but I feel like if this was a much bigger reservoir, it would work a lot better. So keep that in mind if you're going to try this at home. Theoretically, this should be the best way to bleed your brake system because, as you know, air bubbles want to travel upward, so forcing that air from low up high should be the best method. Check out this monstrosity. This guy right here will flush your brakes all day long and never complain, unlike that buddy of yours. It's a little more expensive at $200 with all the accessories, but you can do all your brakes at one time. You can do a flush job really quick. Let's check it out. First thing you're going to do is take this bucket and put it on the caliper like so. You can do one or all four at a time. Of course, you're going to need more buckets. Crack this just a little bit. Next, you plug in this machine and then you find your adapter. There's about 10 different adapters. You find the one for your brakes. Then we're going to attach this little guy right here. We're going to turn it on and we're going to bleed the air out of this first. So you're going to hold the start button. And that fluid is actually coming from this bottle that's sitting on the back of the machine there. Once you get that fully bled, this is now going to snap onto your brake system here. So this adapter fits on like so, and then that clips on like so. Okay, we've got all four bleeders cracked. We're gonna go ahead and flush the entire system. So we're doing all four at the same time. What you wanna do is turn this thing on, and we're gonna start at a low pressure. You don't wanna get too high, 1 bar, 2 bar. Check your owner's manual on your vehicle, because a lot of them, you get over 2 bar, they're gonna start blowing seals. So you wanna hit start and hold start, and then start increasing the pressure until this thing holds steady on its own. It's kind of like a barbecue grill. Eventually you can let off start, bring that pressure down so it's not going over 2 bar. We'll go 1.5, how's that? Sound good? Now we're gonna let it sit there, and at this point it's pulling fluid out of this bottle, pressurizing it and shoving it through the system and coming out on all 4 bleeders at the same time. Whenever we start to see clear fluid coming through, no bubbles, we're gonna shut the bleeders off, and then we can turn the machine off and we're all set. Now keep in mind, if you've got ABS and somehow you've got air into your ABS system, you're gonna need to bleed that as well. If you've got a scan tool, it'll walk you through it. You're going to press that button right there. It's going to open up that ABS system and put brake fluid through there. Now, if you don't have a scan tool, you're going to have to do some sketchy stuff and put your vehicle up on jack stands and then smash on the brakes, or get it out on a wet road and smash on the brakes. Now, if you're doing that the sketchy way on the road, make sure that you bleed that ABS system and then bleed your brakes afterwards. There's one more option to bleed brakes by yourself if you've got a lot of time on your hands, and that's gravity bleeding. But it's not the best. As you know, air bubbles travel upward and gravity's not going to force those air bubbles down. So there's always that option if you have to resort to it. Now, both Josh and I agree that if we're going to do this by ourselves, this would be the method that we'd use, just because it seems to be the best overall and the easiest to do with one person. All right, guys, let me know which option you prefer, or which option you would never use, or if you just call your buddy every time it's time to do brakes. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video.